All right, people, it's your boy Views. We're back. Views Tube. I hope everyone's well. Smash the like, subscribe. This one has been requested. So here we are. I've been laying off the music for a little bit purely because of the copyright situation. If anyone can help me out, then help me out. Do you know what I mean? Let me know what the MO is for any reactors. But yes, the Deadly War in Camden. Now I'm late with this. I know this was out for a while. Big up to Kid Nerd. You'll be able to find his link in the description to go and watch the video for yourself if you haven't seen it. But if you're like me and you're late, then you might want to. If you're like everyone else, you've probably seen it already. I'm very close to all of this stuff in terms of growing up in the area and knowing a few little bits that happened kind of at the time. But yeah, I haven't watched it. But obviously I have listened to Suspect and Chinks and some of the Active Gang and the One-Siders and stuff like that. So anyway, too much waffling. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. The Deadly War in Camden. Big up to to Kid Nerd. Let's go. Let's do this.
Two men have been stabbed to death in two separate attacks in Kentish Town in North London last night. The body of the first victim, believed to be in his late teens, was found a couple of hours before police discovered the second victim, who's thought to be in his 20s.
Camden, the heart of fashion and culture in London, with some of the most expensive house prices and biggest tourist attractions in England. And from the outside in, looks like the perfect place to live. But that's what the government want to show you. Once we go deeper into the lower income,
A couple of hours before
that picture of Boris just got me, man. Like all these years he's been on the planet and you can't do nothing with that Barnet. I'm sorry. I'm going to hell. I know that.
Discovered the second victim, who's thought to be in his 20s.
Camden, the heart of fashion and culture in London, with some of the most expensive house prices and biggest tourist attractions in England. And from the outside in, looks like the perfect place to live. But that's what the government want to
look at this, man. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise.
show you. Once we go deeper into the lower income estates of the borough, we start to see a different story. A story of the country's most deprived estates in London being separated from roads of millionaires literally by one street.
That's a lot of places in London though, especially when they keep trying to gentrify everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Places like Hackney and Shoreditch are kind of getting a little bit more upscale. We get this all over the place. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, typically Hampstead, places in West London, probably places all over London. You've got, the nice houses, the richer folk right across the road from the estates. Do you know what I mean? Mad.
And how these estates have created a deadly gang war, which has taken over the borough in recent years. But before I get into the video, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications.
And do the same for me as well. Big up Kid Nerd for reminding them, like that.
Let's get into the video. So Camden is a borough in northwest London and is very, very close to the centre of London. But despite the area being so close to the rich centre of the capital, in the last few years, the war in the area has been going crazy. So historically, unlike neighbouring areas like Islington and Brent, Camden's beef situation hasn't been as active as others.
Do you know what it is? It's just not as documented. Northwest has always been popping, man. What's man talking about? You know what I'm saying? And then we had kind of people in the scene, obviously East London, South London. We're talking about music and stuff like that. It's kind of got put on the map because of drill music and Active Gang and things like that. However, Northwest has always had musicians. It's always been popping. You know what I'm saying? It's always been shootings, knifings, all types of stuff. So, but yeah, in terms of like the mainstream people from all over the place knowing that it kind of fries over here, of course it does. It fries everywhere, let's be honest.
But this all changed around 2016 when a man from Camden called Merce had his watch stolen from another man from another area in Camden. After
and all these knifings, bootings, people getting killed, literally, it's like literally over nothing. But once you do that, especially if you take a life, there is going to be people out there that won't get back for that.
Yes, there was some back and forth, which resulted in a big rivalry in the borough, literally between groups of kids that grew up together. One side being gangs built up from a few estates in Camden, which were the Peckwater gang from the Peckwater estate.
I literally used to live in Crescent, like literally on Grafton Road. Mad. QC gang, which were from a road in Camden called Queen's Crescent, and Cumber, which is a gang Cumberland.
Made up from an estate called Regent's Park and Cumberland Market. They linked up together and called themselves 51st due to their postcodes being in NW1 and NW5, which is where the 5 and the 1 come from. And from the other side of the feud, we have a gang called Active Gang, which some people may know from their songs, and they're from the Agar Grove estate.
My mum used to live on that estate. I used to live like 5 minutes around the corner from there, Somers Town as well. It's dark, bro. It's dark. But things have always been popping, you know, way before music, and, you know, we even had like the Drummond Street posse, and there was just always things going on. Like, come on, everywhere. Let's be honest. But yeah, the drill made it pop a little bit more. I don't think that's deniable.
In Camden, an Active Gang are affiliated with another gang called CT1 and NRB, which
Cracktown.
they all linked up and called themselves 71st. And just like that, the war was now on between 51st and 71st over this watch being stolen. So Camden is actually home to a big Somalian community, with a big portion of them
London is not just Camden, man. Big up the Marleys, like, come on.
residing in Agar Grove, which is the territory of the 71st gang. Such a big community that the majority of 71st members are actually Somalian. And if you watch one of my previous videos on Mali Strip, Somalian people are people you don't want to be messing with.
See, Northwest London, East London, you know, wherever, South, where, like, big up the Marleys, innit? But everyone, like you try to say the elbows are soft, you know what I'm saying? There's other groups of people that do their thing, man. But yeah, man, big up the Marleys then.
Which you will understand more in this video. And this beef was on go from early. In 2017, 2 members of the AG gang, which represents 71st, executed a triple shooting on 3 51st members. 2 of the members ran to a nearby hospital, but while hospital staff was treating the 2 members, they also called police to the hospital to investigate the situation. Once the 2 realized the police was called, they didn't even care about their treatment anymore, and attempted to run out the hospital while still having bullet wounds lodged in them.
But these man really think they're like Denzel in Training Day or something. But it gets like that when you live your life like that. Are you trying to go behind the door in it for majority of your life? Look at Getz recently, mash up his whole life just for driving like an idiot. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, you not just for that. You've obviously taken someone away from this world. But yeah, man, the man them getting down had bullet holes in them, and they're trying to get out the hospital. They probably got caught anyway because you can't just walk around with bullet holes in you. Do you know what I'm saying?
But the police ended up detaining them and arresting them after a struggle between the both. The reason they wanted to run was because all 3 members are actually wanted for suspicion of grievous bodily harm, which all 3 were eventually arrested for. Now, of course, 51st weren't happy about this triple shooting, and they were trying to get it back in blood. So they went lurking on the Agar Grove estate and shot a rival in the face with a shotgun. The rival actually managed to survive and make his own way back to hospital. But this beef really kicked off in a...
Hold on, because I'm not like, obviously I'm a bit older than all these guys, so I'm not like, I hear certain little things, but it don't always make sense to me. Shot in the face with a shotgun, was that Blitz? Was that Blitz? Or was that AR? One of them. I know you guys in the comments will probably let me know. Yeah, mad, sorry.
The rival actually managed to survive and make his own way back to hospital. But this beef really kicked off in a situation that wasn't even linked to both of the gangs. So on February 2017...
Yeah, that's crazy. A watch got taken, bro. A man's just out here doing bootings. But that's what happens, bro. That's literally what happens. That is literally what happens. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. The same as the knife. You know what I'm saying? It's not like in my day. You see, like in my day, that was like the last resort, bro. Like you would have to just like beat up someone's mum for that. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's not my day anymore. Sorry, I'm digressing a little bit. Let's continue.
A 16-year-old girl had an Airbnb party in Kensington, West London. You know those type of parties where a girl invites 7 different types of gangs and asks people to leave their beef at home?
Oh, bro, you can't even trust chicks at the best of times, bro. You're just gonna go to an open house, like the parents are definitely not there. You've got all these different men coming together. Yeah, and this happens a lot. These dumb girls, they just don't think about nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes they're involved. You know what I mean? These set up chicks and that. But that's mad. See them kind of. I remember them parties like. But when I was younger, it was things would still happen. You could still get moved to, but it was just usually getting beaten up or robbed, or do you know what I'm saying? Like the worst. Like to not come home that day, it's pretty dark, isn't it?
Yeah, one of those. So at this party, there were people from all over London there, but a few uninvited guests tried to pull up to the party. One of these people being a boy from 51st called Dotty and his friend, who pulled up to the party with a gun and knife looking for trouble.
What did I just say? What's he say? Dotty or whatever. He pulled up to the party with a gun and knife looking for trouble. Did he look like a big man to you? Obviously, this must have been years ago. Sorry, yeah, that's mad, bro. Look at him. Come to the party with a gun and a knife. Like, what party are you? I don't understand this. That's what I'm trying to say. See, like, my thing was different, bro. I played football when I was younger. I don't anymore. My body's mash up, but you know what I'm saying? I done MCing. We done music. We went raves. Yeah, and when we got bodies, we're talking about females, brother. You know, these men are trying to like it's mad. It's a whole different. You get me? Yeah, we beat up some people. People might get a little, you get me, a little scuff, a little rushing, or just whatever, like just little bits here and there. But it was never that. I'm a dad now as well, man. That's why I tell my son he's 15. I tell him, yo, all this, I'm just going here and there. No, you're not, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, even the way he dresses. It's mad, but I'm digressing. I'm digressing.
All over London there. But a few uninvited guests tried to pull up to the party. One of these people being a boy from 51st called Dotty and his friend, who pulled up to the party with a gun and knife looking for trouble. But the night turned left for Dotty and his friend, and ended up with Dotty being chased down by 20 young boys. And when the boys caught up to him, they stabbed him 13 times altogether.
What?
Actually resulted...
Hold on. You see what I was just talking about? Live by the gun, die by the gun. Look at that for karma. You're already going to a party where there's going to be a bag of man. Obviously, if you've got the you got the Mindy or you got the Barker. I hear it, but if you're not really prepared to do that, and it's all for show, I can't believe. Hold on, sorry guys, I can't believe what I just saw. Sorry, I got a VAR that. You know what I'm saying? As we say in the football world.
For looking for trouble. But the night turned left for Dotty and his friend, and ended up with Dotty being chased down by 20 young boys. And when the boys caught up to him, they stabbed him 13 times altogether, which actually resulted in...
You see the pokers in their hands, bro. Some of them probably kitchens and that. It's so... and listen, and obviously as someone that's kind of, you know, on YouTube and kind of tapping with some other content creators, I like watching reactions and stuff myself, right? And I've heard some of these American donnies like, oh, because out here, you know, people get poked up, but it's usually in jail and stuff like that. You know, anything on the road or on the street or whatever is the whaps, you know, like that, the barkers. And I'm like, yeah, I hear that. But what do you reckon's worse? Because getting chased down like that, right? Now, obviously, if you had the barker and someone's running and you got a good shot or half decent aim, you could probably just steady your feet and get him. It don't matter if he's running away, or at least do something. You understand? You're getting chased down by like 20 guys with pokers. He got stabbed 13 times. I can't even say that's dark. It's pitch black. That's what it is. 13 times. I ain't gonna say bless him. I was about to say 13 times bless him. How can I say that? You've turned up with all types of karma, you know, on your person. You've turned up, you know, just on the wrong thing straight away. And this is what I try and tell the young kids and even people that's my age, you know what I mean, or a little bit younger. They're still doing strippingness, innit? They can't grow out of it. I know I'm digressing, but yo, in the comments, man, if you come across this video, you tell me, innit, what's worse, holding a bullet or getting like stabbed up close range 13 times? Them knives would have been different sizes as well. Let's be honest, it's so mad.
Dotty dying, which 4 16-year-old boys from Hackney...
Yeah, and they were 16. Look at them. Look at them. Barely any facial hair among them. Look at them. This is peer pressure, man. Because you know, as parents, the kids that you see in your yard, like, they're not the kids that are like, everyone's playing a role in it. We all do it. We've all done it. You don't talk to your friend the same way you talk to your work colleague or your boss. You know what I'm saying? In certain circumstances, whatnot. Look at these guys, man. I can't believe. Sorry, guys. Just one more time. Sorry.
And ended up with Dotty being chased down by 20 young boys. And when the boys caught up to him, they stabbed him 13 times altogether, which actually resulted in Dotty dying, which 4 16-year-old boys from Hackney and Tottenham were sentenced and convicted for. So 51st were mad about the situation, obviously, that their member Dotty was just stabbed to death. So they were out trying to get revenge. So they went out for revenge in a stolen BMW and travelled all the way from Camden, northwest London, to Hackney in East London.
That's what I'm saying. Northwest to east, like west and east, like they had nothing to do with nothing. But because my man's now, obviously these men had knives on them, maybe they were just there for protection in case something went on or whatnot. I don't know. I'm just saying, you go to the party, you got all types of man linking up. So watch the energy you come with, innit? because he's gone to that party on badness and he's left in a box, innit? Like, it's mad.
And then to Tottenham in North London, because that's where the people who killed Dotty were from. But they ended up finding no one from both areas. But they weren't trying to go home without spilling some blood first. So 51st went all the way back to Camden to look for 71st members, and found an affiliate member of 71st called AK.
Look at this youth. I don't know how old he was there, but my son now looks older than this youth. You know what I'm saying? And he's 15. So you know that the people that killed Dots or Dotty, whatever his name, you know that they're from Hackney, they're from northeast, years close together, all of that. But then you come back to do what? It's not them that killed Dotty, but they're the ops. This is an affiliate of the ops. And this is why I always tell you to know your friends, innit? Because some of these tap donnies that just out here doing madness, like, if you're friends of and they see you together, then it's like you're almost in. But look at my man; he probably ain't stabbed no one in his life. I might be wrong, but do you know what I'm saying? It's just so watch you hang around with people.
And killed him. But they weren't done there. They were riding for a whole nother 2 hours looking for more 71st members, and found the 71st member called Mitch's little brother. Mitch's little brother attempted to run into a cab and begged the driver to drive him to safety, but the driver refused to move, and he was dragged out the cab and stabbed to death by 51st members.
What?
All within 2 hours of...
That's his brother. Now, did his brother gangbang? Now, if they know that your brother's like, yeah, and your brother, you're probably gonna get got down before an affiliate, for instance. Do you know what I'm saying? However, did his brother even live life like that? I don't know. Maybe he did, but I'm just saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Dots was killed by people from north and from east, but because these men are the ops, they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna go on a mad one just to get anybody down. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Sorry, guys.
Their first murder they committed that night. And 6 members...
They done 2. They drove to Tottenham. They drove to Hackney. Couldn't find no one. So came and killed 2 people in the ends that never killed Dots, but they are the ops or close to the ops. I don't know, man. Does that sound cool to you? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, when we got bodies, it was, yeah, gash. These getting bodies, it's, yeah, the wrong type of gash. Like, it's mad. Anyway.
Members were sentenced to life for these murders. Then on September 4th, 2017, a member from 51st called Flips, and the older brother of the second boy who died that night,
Mitch. Ooh, I think this is what Chinks was spitting, in it. Flipper done it in broad day. This must have been it.
Mitch bumped into each other on Hampstead Road in Camden and started getting into a little altercation, which ended with Flip stabbing Mitch in his arm, neck and back, leaving the knife lodged into Mitch's bones and
broad day bootings, yeah.
Murdering him. An undercover policeman just happened to witness this whole situation and ran down Phillips and arrested him. And now Phillips is serving 17 years to life for this murder. After this, the beef in Camden went under some serious investigation by police, and members from all sides started to get taken down for conspiracies, firearms, and drug charges. And the beef started to die down a bit. But then 2019 hit, and quite a lot of the members that were locked up started to come out. And taking in consideration that 51st members, just before everyone started going to prison, and killed 3 71st members. 71st members started coming out of prison on some demon time, and were most definitely looking for revenge with no warnings. The first signs that 71st was really back was on a cold Tuesday in February. 1 a.m. in the morning, a 51st member called...
sorry, man said a cold Tuesday, bro. Yeah, man's trying to get in his documentary bag. You know, like big up Kid Nerd. How did you know it was cold, my brother? But I hear it, though. I hear it. I'm a little bit of a nitpicker like that.
G Squeeze was walking past the same...
Yeah, this is what they talk about, the floor and board. This is what I'm trying to say. And you hear it in songs, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a novelty that it shouldn't have. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, we're talking about taking people's lives, bro. This is what the music can do, man. G Squeeze, I swear they turned him cabbage.
In February, 1 a.m. in the morning, a 51st member called G Squeeze was walking past the Sainsbury's in Camden when a 4x4 crashed into him, and several 71st members jumped out on him like a pack of wolves.
The floor and bore. There shouldn't be a term for that.
Stabbing him repeatedly in his head and body, leaving him literally paralyzed and not being able to walk.
Cabbage.
But that wasn't enough for 71st members. They wanted someone dead for their friends. So on April 1st, 2019, a suspected member of 51st called C...
They're always talking about the Congo pack. That's what I'm trying to say. You're turning it into a novelty here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Calvin, rest in peace to everyone that's died, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And people are getting got And are they even the people that started it in terms of the dots? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no. But then you've gone and got someone that didn't do it, and then obviously, you know, Active and 71st, so they're getting down people that didn't do nothing because you got down. Do you know what I'm saying? So that now it's just an endless cycle, bro. And people are either dead or in jail. Like Active Gang's probably the only, not the only, but one of the biggest. Like all of their members are not here, or they're not in the country. Like it's mad.
Miz and his cousin were walking down Grafton Road in Gospel Oak, Camden,
Used to live there, man. Peak.
when 471st members jumped out a stolen black car and started chasing them. C-Miz and his cousin split up, but unfortunately the men who jumped out the car locked onto C-Miz, and C-Miz ended up dropping to the ground when the
Like the back, like as you come out of Taleka and go towards the Crescent, like round the back end, innit? It's mad.
71st members started to stab him repeatedly with machetes and then run from the scene. After this murder, 71st members made a song called Congo.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the reason why they called it Congo is because C-Miz was actually a refugee from Congo after him and his family fled the war from over there. And members repeatedly in their songs say that they get their weed from Congo, not Cali. Pretty much just trying to say that they're smoking on C-Miz. And as I said before, the majority of these 71st members are Somalian. So after all this, there was news going about in Camden that 51st members were out on the alert, and any Somalian they see, they're killing.
Heard some really strong intelligence that there is going to be revenge for Calvin's killing. And his friends have literally said they are going to go out and kill any Somali in retaliation. So I just want to make that really
make sense. Like
clear. This is from a young Somali woman in Camden who's 24 years old. And basically we strongly suspect they're going to go out tonight and kill a Somali.
I told you I'm nitpicky. What do you mean suspect?
It's probably a bit of a stretch, but on the other hand, 71st members kept saying that they're warring with Jalirs, which is basically the Somalian word for West African people. Because you have to remember, despite Somalians being dark-skinned and African, a lot of Somalians don't really see themselves the same as other black people.
I really don't understand that either, but
So this was kind of turning into a race war between Somalian and black people in Camden, which is just all wrong for so many reasons. But 71st weren't happy enough with the killing of C-Miz. They wanted to spill more blood. So August 12, 2019, 6 members started circling the estates of 51st members in a stolen Ford Fiesta and a stolen Seat. When they spotted 16-year-old culprit and other members coming out of a restaurant around 10:30 p.m. Culprit and other members ran to a nearby set of blocks near Euston Road. But 71st members found them later on that night, and 3 members jumped out and chased them down, catching up to the 16-year-old 51st member called Culprit. Culprit was running for his life and literally screaming for help, banging on neighbors' doors to let him in. So
went in, came out, yeah, mad.
He could escape his attackers. But when the 71st members caught up to him, 2 71st members held him, while a 3rd member repeatedly pushed a 1-foot-long zombie killing knife through his chest while it was coming out of his.
Went in, came out. Part of the lyrics. It's disgusting actually how novel it kind of makes it. I don't even know if that's the right word. Like someone will correct me, I'm sure.
Back. And when the 71st members were done, the killers were said to be running away after, laughing hysterically, which is what bystanders said. And Culprit, he was just any normal kid from London. He was talented at football and even had trials for Southampton Football Club. But
all right. I don't know. Yeah, listen, now I don't know too much about any of this. What I do know though is when I got told, yeah, things were going on. Like my man was doing up his own madness, this youth. So when they say, oh, he's just a normal kid, he play football, no. I'm pretty sure this guy was trying to boot at certain man. You understand? Like literally a week beforehand. So I don't know about the other guys, but I know that he was on badness, even at his age. He's trying to oot at people, you understand? So like I said, live by the gun, die by the gun. But all this whole he just played football, he was calm. Let's not do that, innit? Because people who know.
Started getting involved in a local gang and brushed aside his football, and unfortunately became a
not just brushed aside his football. Yeah, he was doing bits, innit? So
victim of the streets. Now, as these back and forths normally go, 51st were now looking for revenge on their recent L's, and there were many stabbings across the month. And early on in September, there was a case of 3 killings in 5 days in Camden. One of these being a man from a completely different area all the way in East London, but unfortunately, he was walking at the wrong place at the wrong time. So he was actually walking on Queen's Crescent Estate, which is a hot
My cousin used to live on this estate. This is mad.
But for 51st members, and was shot and killed in a drive-by, being mistaken for a 51st member. Just an hour before, another woman was stabbed to death just a few hundred yards from.
I've heard of women getting hit, you know, like if people are barking at crowds, which is just mad to me anyway, but that's another conversation. But you're gonna bore her. Maybe she was involved in it. I don't know.
The situation. And 4 days later, a 71st member called Nuts was stabbed to death by a gang of 51st members with
Ran out of breath. Like, it just brings all the lyrics to life, and it's actually gruesome.
machetes outside one of the busiest areas in London, Camden Tube Station. And for the longest, a lot of people didn't even know all this stuff was going on until a 71st member called Suspect started jumping on the drill scene, calling himself the Camden Grim Reaper, and releasing some of the most disrespectful tunes towards his ops. So much that police take down pretty much any song that the gang uploads, which really started to bring some attention to what's happening down there, and definitely got the attention of me, especially a song from Suspect called Dugout, which is probably one of the most disrespectful
Yeah, it's horrid. It's actually horrid.
songs I've ever heard, and really makes you deep how tapped this whole beef is. In one of his lines, he says,
Same place we used to play runouts, is the same place his chest got dug out. Same place I was telling you play out, is the same place I'm telling you come out.
which really makes you think, damn, these guys were close friends at one time, and now they're trying to kill each other. All stemming from a little small altercation that happened a couple years back. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video, and peace out.
Boy, let me just take that off the screen, man. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Like I said, you hear little things being in the same area. That was crazy to me, though. These guys are young, like Suspect. He's obviously doing life at this point. I don't even think he's 25. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't wish this on anyone. But there you go, man. Interesting to hear it, especially from like an outsider, you know, always interesting to hear it. And we don't really promote any of that. I'm not gonna act like I don't like drill or don't like some of the culture, but really and truly, as I was just describing through the watch, it just makes everything a bit too, I don't know, novel. I don't even know if that's the right word. Like, you know, you're less kind of appalled by it because you're hearing it all the time, sort of thing. But let me know your thoughts, guys. If there's anything you want to say in the comments or anything else you want man to respond to, then let me know. We are here for you guys, man. But like, share, subscribe, and we will be back soon.